let's see how we can create visualizations ourselves. Just like with our different ways of connecting to data, there are 3 different ways of creating visualizations. I've told you about drag and drop multiple times, so let's do that one first. Let's go for our customer name, and I can just drag it. And from the moment you start dragging, you'll see it. It's not super clear, but you'll see an orange border around the elements where you can drop this dimension. I'm going to drop it on the rows pane at this moment. And you'll see Tableau starts listing all of my different customers. Now, if I want to show my sales as well, I'm going to drag sales to columns. Tableau, by default, because I use a dimension on the rows and a measure on the columns, will create a bar chart. That's the first way of creating a visualization, by just dragging your dimension and measures to the location that you prefer. I'm also immediately going to use this first button on the top that's called Clear Sheet. Clear Sheet will do exactly what you think it will do. It will remove everything. So the first way of creating a visualization is by dragging dimensions and measures to the location you prefer. Second way would be, if I still use this customer name and sales, is by double-clicking customer name and double-clicking sales. Tableau now chooses himself where he feels these fields would look best. He now thinks, okay, customer name on the rows, but I'm not going to show my sales as bar charts, but I'm going to show them as simple numbers. That's why he has dragged them here to the text mark. Okay, what's next? So that's our second way of adding data, which is double clicking. If I clear my sheet once more, let's take a look at the third and final one. I've spoken about the show me before, so you can click on your show me box in the top right to expand it. And from the moment I start clicking on my dimensions or measures on the left side, you'll see it also starts highlighting. For everyone that uses a Mac, if you now use your Command key and you click on a second field, it gets selected as well. For the people using Windows, by using your Control key, you can click on sales as well to make sure that both customer name and sales are selected. Someone is raising their hands. If you have an issue, you can always briefly put something in the chat window so I can take a look at it, or Q&A I see here. This is not working. Okay, no problem. So if I start over, opening show me, by just clicking, the icons in show me are not clickable. Okay, let's take a look. So you need to make sure that at least 2 fields at this moment are selected. As in my case, customer name and sales. From the moment you've done that, a few should be highlighted. I can't use all of them. For example, I can't use a map because I'm not using geographic data. I can't create a line chart because I'm not using a date. So I hope that's clear for everyone. So you at least need to select. Okay, it's cleared up. That's good. Okay, let's continue. So not doing nothing else except this, select customer name, select sales. And as you can see, all of the highlighted ones are the ones that are possible to create with the data we've just chosen. Tableau always highlights with the orange box what he feels is the recommended visualization. Let's click on the bar chart. You'll see, okay, we've created this one before, looks quite good. But you can also create different ones. And this is very dangerous because it's not that because you can create it that you should create it. You can create a pie chart, but you shouldn't create a pie chart, because it would look like this. And now you can create something very spacey if you like, and it would look something like this, and it has no value at all. So watch out by clicking through the show me, because it will not always create something that's really useful. I've just clicked on my bar chart again. And as you can see, if you start clicking through the show me possibilities, you'll see that Tableau himself will choose where he puts this customer name and this sales within your view. It now puts it here on the left side in my marks card. If I choose something different, it changes all over again. So the show me possibility is a good way of starting your visualization as a first step. You're not really sure how to create a bar chart. Well, let's use the show me to get you started. And now we can start continuing, for example, by also adding and drag and dropping things in here as well, by adding subcategory, for example, next to my customer name in the rows. It's as simple as that to create your visualizations. 3 ways: either drag and drop to the location you prefer, either double clicking, or using the show me to get you started. Good for you to know is that we, of course, also, what if I made a mistake and I don't want to use subcategory? I wanted to use category. I don't want to start over from scratch. I just want to replace my subcategory. First way of removing subcategory would be clicking on this little button on the right side of it, and of course selecting remove. That's the long way of doing things. Second way would be grabbing it and just removing it. And I always drag it to this gray space below my marks card. If I drop it here, it's gone as well. And now we can drag our other element in there to replace it. There's an easier way. By just dragging a dimension on top of a different dimension, it will be replaced as well. So I hope it's clear that you don't always have to start from scratch. Okay, so we now know how to connect to data and create our first visualization. I'm gonna go back to my initial visualization that shows customer name and sales. On top, you'll see the typical icons we also know from different tools. So I'm going to sort this one, descending to finish my first simple visualization. It's always best practice to give your visualizations a good name. So you'll see sheet 1 as a name in the bottom. So you can double click on the sheet 1 to make sure it's called sales by customer, for example, as a first visualization.